What up? What up? About to start. About to start. Yeah, this is some disturbing stuff, man. Disturbing. What up, TikTok? See, we live. We live. Just waiting on YouTube. Got a couple more seconds before we go live on YouTube, too. 13 more seconds. All right. Cool. What up, world? It's me, Be Focused. Again, you know. It's a heavy, heavy, heavy topic, man. Heavy, heavy topic. Heavy topic. Y'all see the topic already. As far as with this whole Epstein stuff, man, this thing's kind of been going out of control, out of hand. You know, just want to welcome all of you guys on TikTok and on YouTube. Welcome to the Magnetic Frequency Podcast. You already know, company's motto is we're creating magnetic vibes on a frequency worldwide, right? But yeah, this whole topic with this Epstein stuff has gotten me like to a place where I feel as if we as a society and just people in general do not stand up and take action and make sure that there's actual accountability with this whole Epstein stuff. Like all the people who are participants and partakers in it need to be held accountable. And the reason I say this is if we as a last generation like do not stand up, I believe that future generations, next generation coming up, aren't going to have a chance. They're literally going to be like just straight up pushovers. You get what I'm saying? The things that this whole Epstein file has really showed and opened up to people is literally how these people, you can't even call them people. Personally, in my opinion, I can't even call them people. I feel like, well, don't even feel like this stuff is actually uncovered. Trump actually just disclosed that the files where the aliens and all that stuff, quote unquote, now is declassified. The information's out there. So people could actually see that, you know, according to this Epstein stuff, we're not dealing with people. These are like, I don't even know what to call them. I mean, closest thing to actually call them is like freaking vampires or something. They're eating babies, they're drinking their blood. You know what I mean? And it's just crazy. It's crazy. For me personally, it's a lot to actually just take in. I haven't like seen videos or, you know, things like that. The most I've seen was just pictures. But at the same time, that alone is real graphic. And for me personally, I don't even want to see any more other than that. You get what I'm saying? Because it's to the point where anyone who basically wants to not look at this and turn a blind eye to all this stuff, literally you have to look at yourself and say, okay, you are deserving of whatever is to come, so to speak, because these types of atrocities and things like this that happen, it cannot not be not looked at. You get what I'm saying? The only way things like that can be stopped is if good people, good-hearted people come in and stop bad people like that. Again, can't even call them people because I really don't think they're freaking people. You get what I'm saying? Because they operate on a total different moral compass than how good, real human beings operate on. You get what I'm saying? So at this point here, it's like you got too much evidence. You got all of this stuff opened up with, of course, the Diddy, and then you got now Jay-Z, and them getting all the underage girls and all this stuff, man. It's like, damn, we as a people, man, we got to stand up and do something about this personally, because for me, it looks like they're getting slapped on the wrist and nobody's being like really, really, really held accountable for their actions. You get what I'm saying? The most that I've seen was they said something about the prince basically getting demoted or something like that from his princehood or whatever. But that doesn't really change anything. It doesn't stop anything. He still has his money. I mean, he's still in the family, regardless of the fact he still get to live a good life. I mean, I don't think that's accountability. You get what I'm saying? Like, these people get to do things that are horrific by nature, and they just go ahead and just live their life like everything is fine. You know what I'm saying? Demotion of a name, what does that do? He still has access to his wealth, all these things. So at the same time, it's like you're not really doing nothing. It's like a slap on the wrist. You get what I'm saying? But I think this is the biggest precursor for just humanity in itself, because if we as a people literally let this stuff slide and allow corrupted government officials that's within our government to do these things, then it's like, come on now. You get what I'm saying? Like, where's the moral compass? Where's the the right and wrong? You have laws in place for a certain reason, not laws being in place for them to just basically redact themselves. You know what I mean? And take themselves out. I've actually just heard today too that some of the names that were already like redacted now, like everything's kind of like disappearing, like from the files itself, like actual names that they've seen, things are just disappearing. So it's like, what the hell's really going on here, man? Personally, again, for me, I don't know how it is for other people, but personally, this stuff like makes me want to really, and I think everybody else in society needs to really want to know how we can identify these types of people. Again, to me, they are not people. They are not people. If they're drinking blood and killing people and drinking babies and doing all this stuff, I classify them as freaking vampires or something, whatever you want to call them. It's the closest thing I can, identify them, I guess. But at the same time, I feel like people in general, we need to be able to identify these things and these types of, only thing I can say, people who do these things, all right? Even though they're not people in my eyes. We need some sort of way or form or shape to basically identify these types of people, so that way we could the only way to say it is I just don't think if those people, those types of people are operating on that moral compass where they have no moral compass, where they just see us as food, then we need to freaking do whatever we need to do to identify these types of people and do away with them, because they are basically not for people. People are their freaking food. You get what I'm saying? So at the same time, it's like you have all of these things being talked about, right? But no real action plan or whatever the case is put in place to get these people held accountable. And we could be freaking working with these people and not even know. You could be going to work and your boss is one of them. You get what I'm saying? And you have no idea. You get what I'm saying? This stuff is bigger than I think what most people can even imagine. There's too much evidence out there for people to ignore this. You have to understand, these are not people we're dealing with. They're not people we're dealing with. They're not good-hearted, moral people that we are dealing with. You get what I'm saying? And if we, being the good people, do not do anything, right, then the future generation is doomed. I am telling you this straight up. Future generation is doomed. They basically do what they're told, and that's that. No questions, no pushback, no resistance, no nothing. You get what I'm saying? The hardest thing for them is basically turning off their phone or taking away their tablet. You get what I'm saying? So it's up to us as a people to really stand up and try. We have to make a change. We have to make sure these people are being held accountable for what they are doing. And again, I say people, I'm going to keep saying it. They are not freaking people to me, because I don't know what person, human being. When I say human being, I mean a human being that has good morals, right? Wants to do right and help others. Doesn't look at them as a food source and eating them or drinking their blood. It really sounds like it's out of a freaking vampire movie. I want people to actually really open up their eyes and see what the hell's going on. This is not a matter for people to take lightly. What I want to say too, there's a movie out there that came out in the, I believe it was the 80s or the 90s. I'm not sure. I think it was either 88, 90s, but movie's called Demolition Man with Sylvester Stallone and Wesley Snipes. That movie came out either late 80s, early 90s, I think. But at the same time, it was a futuristic movie, and it showed exactly how they wanted society to be. If you look at it and watch it, you can see exactly to this day, like, this is what they are freaking planning. And it's not to say, hey, look, these people are conspiracy theorists or whatever. There's so much things hidden in movies nowadays. People are starting to realize and open their freaking eyes now. You know what I mean? Even that freaking Sinners movie. Come on now. These people in the Epstein files, this is what they're freaking doing. They're eating people. Come on now. I mean, people, you got to start putting one and two together, man. You cannot think that we are the only life forces out here, human beings. You cannot think that. There's this, Trump just basically undisclosed the whole UFO files and all that stuff. Stuff is out there for people to see it. Go ahead and read it, and you'll see that we aren't the only life forms out here. A lot of people think that we are, but we're not. We're not. This whole reality, like literally, this is a series I'm actually starting on my podcast. It's called Breaking Reality's Illusion. And really right now, I believe that this needs to happen in order for us to really see what's really going down and understand that that people who, some of the people that are in charge don't have our best interests at heart. They really don't. I mean, and you can see it. It's like they're getting away with this if people do not stand up and do something about this. We are the last generation to make a stand, literally, for the future generations. Now, if you have children, if you have just any loved ones, anything, this should really affect you on a level where you literally have to say, you know what, damn, if you don't do something, then they're at risk. Your loved ones, your children, you know? Like, come on now. We have to stand up and do something. This is at like an all-time high for humanity to not, to just go ahead and turn a freaking blind eye to this. We can't do that, man. We can't. And it's really sad to really see that, as usual, everybody would just keep going. Normal life continues, back to work, Everybody goes back to work, wake up, clock in, do all of this stuff. Wow, all of these bastards out there freaking literally just running amok with crime, killing, kidnapping, eating people, doing all this stuff. And it's like, okay, so and so did it, they get a slap on the wrist. Oh, they get redacted. Their names don't get pulled up, and their family's fine. It's so much things like being covered up and so much people involved that it's like now we, the people, have to stand up and do something to make sure that accountability is actually being, these people are actually being held accountable. Because if we don't, like seriously, next generation, it's over for them. It really is. It really is. It really is. So, man, really, really torn. Don't even know how the heck to feel. Like going out in public, makes me look at people in a way where it's not to say, I get it, it's not everybody, but at the same time, I just feel like I would love to know how to identify these people. Just for everyone's safety, we need to know how to identify these people. Seriously. Because the information that's been dropped is like, I don't see how anyone could actually go into public and just be around their bosses or be around anybody without looking at them sideways in that type of way. You get what I'm saying? Because it's too much things that are out here for people to just overlook it. Man, actually, what I want to do too, I did see there was a YouTuber out there by the name of Melanie King. She was covering some really, really good stuff about how she really went in depth with the whole Epstein files, and she was breaking down how some of the stuff correlated back to, I guess, the shot. There we go, the shot. For some odd reason, I guess he had ties to that. The Jeffrey Epstein guy, he had ties to that. They were saying that in the files, it shows he was connected to the guy who released the shots, the vaccine shots. You get what I'm saying? So at the same time with that now, it's like now they're correlating it and bringing it back to them with this, with the vaccine shots and the DNA, and it's crazy stuff. It's crazy stuff. I mean, at the same time, it's really hard to grasp and believe all of these things, but the evidence is out there now. The evidence is out there. So the best thing that I can say to people is to trust your inner compass. Trust your spirit. Trust your soul. Just like how the animals have that intuition where they know when danger is around and they can sense or feel something, we have that too. We have to really start to tap in and realize and just really get in our senses and understand, like, not everyone around you is perceived to be who they're portraying. You get what I'm saying? And if you look at it, the best thing I could say, again, how a lot of things correlate back to the movies, look at it. MIB, you guys seen that movie? Men in Black with Will Smith, right? Now, can you imagine, now with these Epstein files actually being released now, right? And after you seeing a movie like Men in Black, now the Epstein files will make that movie become like, holy crap, we're living in a freaking sci-fi, freaking real world here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't even, like, you know what I'm saying? Just fathom that. It's crazy. It's crazy. Like, to say that crap is true, we're living in a world like that where they actually do have bodysuits and all these things, and you could be talking to someone and you're not freaking really talking to a human being, talking to someone that's from a freaking other planet or something. You get what I'm saying? A lot of these things seem far-fetched, but now All the evidence is in these files. This stuff literally is breaking reality's illusion. You get what I'm saying? A lot of people need to actually wake up from this and really see and understand that this is a time where it's a time where you're gonna have to draw a line in the sand. All right, you're gonna know what you stand for, and you're gonna have to stand on that. You get what I'm saying? You know what you with, and you know what you're not with, and it's gonna come down to that. And how I'm saying that is with this whole digital ID stuff. You get what I'm saying? So at the same time, it's like you could either be a pushover in this world, stand up for what's right, and I think what a lot of people don't understand is standing up for what's right may not be the popular thing to do in this world, but it's needed for change for everybody on a real good scale. When I say good, I mean like on the terms of righteousness. You know what I'm saying? Not righteousness in a religion type of sense, but righteousness in a way of you doing the right thing. That's what I mean by righteousness. You get what I'm saying? Not on a religious term, more on a you are morally doing the right thing for not just you, but for the entire human race. You get what I'm saying? And what people fail to realize is where we're at now in this day and age, in this time and space, right? It was because of people in the past that their actions, whatever they stood up for, whether it was Martin Luther King, for instance, right? Whatever he stood up for and what he basically tried to fight for, we now get to we all now get to basically embrace what he fought for, which was one of those things where, how can I say it? Like, we all had it in our heart to live equally and live on terms where, you know what I mean, we're all treated fairly, so to speak, right? It took one person to actually be the face of that, you get what I'm saying? And stand up and have many other people follow him to basically do the right thing to make a change for all of humanity. You get what I'm saying? And I believe that's where we're at right now. We all know what's right. We all know what's right. The people, you know what I mean? The good-hearted people, people who have, you know, morals and they stand on them and they're righteous. Again, not on the religious sense, but righteous where they're doing the right thing. You get what I'm saying? We're all out there. There's many people that's out there that's doing the right thing. And you guys see and know what's going on. But at the same time, it's going to take us, the good, righteous people who do the right thing and want to see others prosper and want to see others prevail, not get stepped on, and not get, in this case, freaking kidnapped, children killed, eaten, freaking drinking people's blood and all this crap. All these missing bodies and all these things going on out here, man. Come on now. It takes good people to stand up and make a change. We as a people have to stand up. We cannot let this stuff just go by. We need accountability. And when we say accountability, we want to actually see these people be held accountable, things done. You get what I'm saying? And them stripped of whatever positions of power they're in, and actual putting good change in the government, not change where we're suppressing the people and oppressing the people. You know, you got, just on an economic standpoint, you got prices going up and up and up and up and up and up and up. You know, Job market looks crazy out there. You know, honestly, I'm just thankful for the Creator to be able to put us in a position where we're good. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's not about just yourself. You have to think about other people. And for me personally, that's what I think about. Think about other people, what they're going through, and their positions. And the one thing I understand is when people's backs are against the wall, causes them to do things where they may not necessarily want to do. You get what I'm saying? So I can only imagine, my heart goes out for the people who do have children and they're going through difficult times and they are trying to, provide for them in a system that is basically squeezing the life out of them. Physically, not physically, metaphorically. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, like these are times we have to, as human beings, try to come together. I get it. Not everybody we're gonna get along with. I get it. And those people, of course, you just do what you could do. You stay on your side of the street, and that other person stays on the other side. But at the same time, there's no ill will to the point where we want to see people actually lose their life. You get what I'm saying? So for me personally, I like to say it. I don't hate people. If I disagree with someone or if we're not eye to eye, it's more of I dislike their ways. You get what I'm saying? I don't hate anyone to the point where it's like, oh, I want this person not to live. I can't even get myself to be on that frequency. It's very hard for me to even be on that frequency, like honestly. Like if I even felt that way for, say, a couple of seconds, it'll be like something switching me to be like, yo, let's fix that or whatever. You get what I'm saying? But I get it. Some people you can't do that with. Some people it's like oil and water. You just have to come to the terms and just know, like, hey, look, no matter what you do with these types of people, you just kind of gotta keep your distance. You get what I'm saying? But overall, for humanity, we need to come together, do what we could do to try to help each other out during these times, because I get it. Like, what we need to do is take some sort of action, and the red flag and the alarms need to go off. You need to understand that if all of these people get away with all of this stuff, right, then that means that now the Epstein files are out there. People can see everything what they've done and did, right? And it's open. Now, all that means is, okay, nobody didn't do anything. They just got slaps on the wrist. Okay, now it's just open season for them. They can really go out and do what the hell they want and whatever. You get what I'm saying? What's going to happen to them? Nothing. So, like, this is a precursor for us as a human race to stand up and do something, because, again, we're not dealing with people. We're not dealing with people. You guys can see this in the files. We're not dealing with regular human beings. These aren't human beings, all right? You guys need to go watch Men in Black to see what we're dealing with here. I mean, I'd love to actually, I ain't say Men in Black, watch Sinners to see what we're dealing with here. All right? But at the same time, man, it's just get your mind right and understand that there's so many different things that's taking place here. And I feel like, again, people, we cannot ignore these things. All right? I just wanted to come on, do a little quick broadcast with y'all, and hope that, it could spark some people to really open up their mind and realize, hey, we need to start getting on one accord and do our best to make sure these people are held accountable. All right? No slaps on the wrist, no getting away with all this stuff. And we need to be able to find out. We need to know, how can we identify these people? All right, so we can have a special place for those people. You get what I'm saying? Because it doesn't look like, I'm not saying I don't know if all of them are like that, but the ones that are like that, we need to know how to identify them. You get what I'm saying? And since they're operating in such a secretive type of mode, like, we have to look at it like, hey, these people aren't, they're not morally moving in the right way. You get what I'm saying? Or in a righteous way. Again, not on a religious sense. Righteous meaning right or wrong. You get what I'm saying? So, yeah, just wanted to touch base with you guys on that today. And I hope, really, really hope that you guys do not take this lightly. Take your blinders off, right? I'm not saying for you to completely like seclude yourself or whatever, but just be aware. Be very aware. Keep your senses up. And when you're going out in public, you know what I mean? Just tap in. All right. And of course, try to do what you can do. Help one another while we can. You know, we have no idea what's going on behind the scenes with everything. You know, we just have to try to get back on one accord and stop the whole the disagreeing amongst one another. You know, like every race, we always have this whole racial thing, fighting. You know what I mean? Black against white, or just different races, man. It's crazy. At the same time, it's just not black and white. It's like everybody's against each other. You know what I mean? Ever since the this pandemic stuff, 2020, it's like people have just really gotten further and further away from each other, whether it's friends, family, or just people in general. You know what I'm saying? People don't even speak at all, no more at all, you know, much less even freaking look at each other. You know, we got to be real. I mean, the world we're living in now, it's like, it's crazy. It's crazy. I truly, truly feel it. My heart goes out for the next generation. I just hope that they have enough wherewithal in them and oomph to stand up to what's not right. And man, we're the last hope. That's what I have to say. We're the last hope. But all right, y'all. Just a quick tune in to touch base with you guys. Stay up. Try to keep your frequency up. At the same time, all right, my company's motto is to create magnetic vibes on a frequency worldwide. And I hope that people will begin to embrace each other, come together again, because we are actually stronger united than we are divided. You know what I'm saying? I can't fight this alone. I mean, we all together. Come on now. Listen, we can get some work done. You get what I'm saying? Seriously. But all right, world, stay up, be safe, and love y'all. Take care. Peace. Be focused.